Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by my old friend and Hall of Fame promoter, Frank Warren. Frank, how are you?
Fine, Dan. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Let's deal with the elephant in the room right at the start, or the elephant not in the room. No disrespect, Dillian. Probably could have phrased that better. Dillian Whyte won't be at the launch press conference today. Just tell people out there why that is and how close it came to him actually attending.
Let me give you the background first of all. The background of a purse bid is that first, a title fight is that the relevant governing body, in this case the WBC, they put out that he was the mandatory, and we have a short period of time to negotiate to try and get the fight voluntary. Couldn't agree terms. The fight was then put out to purse bids, and the terms of the purse bid was it was an 80-20 split, and they determined the 80-20 by how much previously the boxers had earned the last couple of fights. So the last fight, Dillian had put in a purse in of 300,000, and Tyson was 20 million. So he obviously is an attraction, as we know. He's earned 20 million. I'm sure Dillian certainly 300 grand, whatever he earned. That's far below. So that's how they determine the 80-20. We don't do that. I'm delighted for Tyson they did it, but that's down to the governing body, in this case the WBC, and it's nothing unusual. We won the purse bids. We bid, I think it's just under 10 million more than Matchroom had done. Had we not bid and Matchroom had won the purse bid, then Dillian would be getting 2 million less than he's getting now. So he has an upside on fighting on our show.
And there's a possible winner's bonus.
And there's a 4 million lodged with the WBC, which the winner will get. So he has a potential of getting, as you say, another 4 million. So he's got there's a lot for him to go for, and a big incentive for him. So as far as I'm concerned, I can't think of any time in my time in boxing, unless you know, and you've been around it a long time, that any boxer's not shown up for the press conference. I just can't think about it. Whether you're friends with the camps, whether it's rival camps, you're professional. I know whenever I've ever lost a purse bid or if I've done agreed terms, our fighter will be at the press conference. You know, Tyson went to Germany. I think he got 20% to fight Klitschko, where he went out for the Deontay Wilder fight. Same thing, the first fight, roughly about 20% less his purse for that. Joshua Usyk was on 20%, and you can go on and on about it, but they're professionals and they show up. They don't try and renegotiate something after you've won a purse bid. They don't say we want a private jet to take us here and home, but we agreed to do that. We said we would do that in writing. They don't say you can't use my image on a poster, you can't use a photograph of him on a poster, which is what we were told by his business advisor, lawyer, Jeff Bentz. Jeff Bentz, by the way, he was one of the 3 arbitrators who sat in Beijing, because we had to negotiate. He was out there. He sat on the thing that gave the young Russian ice skater, despite the fact she was found to be positive for doping, they let us skate on. Same lawyer or advisor, what you want to call him. So we had all this crap going on, and it's totally unreasonable. And Jeff Bentz was talking to The Sun, I understand, today, and they put this story out, which if you go and look online now, has dramatically changed because it was libelous and it was wrong, and we've dealt with that. Just totally inaccurate. All of this is just inaccurate and it's wrong. And it's frustrating. You know, he should be here, but he's not here. So maybe he don't want to see Tyson. I know he lives in Portugal now. Maybe there's a problem in Portugal that he's resident there. It's a tax situation. I have no idea. But whatever it is, he has a duty as a professional to be here, because if he's not here, and he's not here this time, he's not here, what happens to the next fight? When somebody else, am I going to do a tit for tat with Matchroom, or other people going to do it? And if we start doing that, you haven't got a job. Who are you going to interview? Of course we want them to publicise the fight. How do you think you get paid? That's your job. You know, we don't just say, oh, here's the money, and just show up on the night. We pay you.
What was
it's standard industry practice.
What was the final sticking point? Because you said he asked for a private jet, you agreed to that. There was a thing about the photo. What was kind of the final straw?
it was a couple of other things in there, and I just said, forget this shit. You ain't going to be here. It's like a smoking gun. So right, you know what? You're not going to be here. You're not going to be here. But that works both ways because you've got a contract, and your contract that you signed, we have obligations and you have obligations. So we'll stick 100% to our contractual obligations, which he signed for. So that's fine. We're not obligated to give him anything. When you win a purse bid, you can fly him in economy class. It's 4 tickets. You're not obliged to give private jets. You're not obliged first class or nothing. That's a courtesy sometimes that we do as a promoter. We don't treat people bad. I've never heard a fighter asking me to come in on a private jet and fly out again before. I mean, it's just it's outrageous. But irrespective of that, he's not here. All I know is we've got a fight. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, and I'll be really shocked tomorrow if we don't sell at least 50, 60,000 tickets tomorrow.
What impact, if any, do you think his absence from this and other potentially pre-fight events will have on ticket sales and pay-per-view sales?
I don't think it's going to have an adverse effect. I think it's going to have an adverse effect on him because it's not going to look good for him. But look, we got in Tyson Fury. I mean, he's the most recognisable boxer in the world. Him and Canelo, most recognisable. They're big box office fighters, successful, winning fighters. That's what they are, and that's what he is, Tyson. And that's why he got 20 million for his last fight in the States, and he'll earn more here for this one because he is box office. It's his first fight here for 4 years, and you know yourself, he's accommodating. He's a professional boxer, professional sportsman, and that's what professional boxers and professional sportsmen do. They do what is standard practice in the industry.
What do you expect this fight to achieve in terms of amount of people in the stadium? Because it can be set up for different amounts, and also on pay-per-view, what do you expect?
It's set up for the full amount. I expect this to be absolutely rocking, sold out, and pay-per-view. 90,000. I think it's more than that. I think it'll sell out. I think it'll be the biggest, gate for boxing. Well, a record in the UK. I think it'll be pay-per-view. I'll be absolutely stunned if it doesn't do 1.5 million buys.
That's ballsy. I like it.
It's ballsy bidding $41 million for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too.
So we put our money up. That's why we expected a little bit, just a modicum of cooperation for it. I'm expecting that from him, and it's not happening. I mean, we put up huge money. He's getting $8 million. He got 300 grand for his last fight. $8 million.
What do you make of people that say that one of the reasons he's registered to get such a low amount for his previous fight was the way that he's been paid? So there's an issue with getting paid a separate amount or in different ways so that it looks like he's getting less.
Look, the purse is the purse. Yeah. If he's getting extra money, I don't know if he's getting extra money, and why would you do that? I mean, you've got to have it in your head. Keep complaining. I'm sitting here for 1,000 days. I'm mandatory. So where was the, who was advising him to put in lower amounts if he didn't indeed put in lower amounts? And if he did put in lower amounts, where's the money that he owes the WBC? Where's the tax that he should pay the WBC? I don't know. And you know what? I don't care. That's up to him. That's what he did, and that's him. And we know what we did, and we know what we did.
And just finally, before I let you go, because the press conference is about to start, there's been a few comments, of course, from Eddie Hearn, who's advising Whyte. Do you kind of wish he'd just stick his nose out now?
I wish he'd piss off and mind his own business and get on with his show. He's telling everybody it won't happen, but then he said when Tyson was fighting Deontay Wilder, it won't happen. We manipulated the bid, just like we manipulated the bid for Andrade and Zach Parker. When he had the lion's share of it.
Brilliant. Well, it seems like there's some commotion going on behind us. Not sure what that is, but they're all excited for the press conference.
Thing for sure. Dillian Whyte's not involved in that.
Yeah, well, brilliant, Frank. Really appreciate it.